What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BassQuest. As promised, I'm going to do a video here on the real reason why I haven't been posting videos. You notice if you look at my channel, I've posted a couple videos now, but it's been about a year since I posted anything, and there's a lot of reasons for that. So I kind of wanted to get into that because I think, there's some things that have been going on this year with the COVID and stuff, and I think it's a really good kind of public service announcement for all you guys out there especially. So the beginning of 2020, we had a lot of stuff going on with my son. As you guys, I know a lot of you guys have been praying for him and everything, but he's got a feeding tube and a lot of, I guess, health issues. A lot of it has to do with failure to thrive, and he's been doing really well, and that's not really the reason why I haven't been posting videos. At the beginning of this year, we had all this COVID stuff going on. We had the tornado that came through. I work in construction, so I was working 70, 80 hours a week plus trying to get people's houses put back together. Some of it was work that we donated, some of it was work that we did through our company, but a lot of that, it kind of got me out of my normal rhythm of things. So typically I work my week and I try to get out and fish, and that's how I kind of rejuvenate and revitalize myself in order to get back out there and do it all again. So I kind of was deprived of my typical system for coping mechanism, if you will, for dealing with just this general stresses of life and all the things that are going on with the COVID stuff. And I figured I would go ahead and make this video. It's not typically, I don't like a lot of people getting into my personal business or anything, but this year has been really tough on a lot of people. It's been really tough on me, and I know of 4 people that I was relatively close with that have committed suicide this year, and just with depression and everything. And that's really what kind of got me away from doing YouTube. It got me away from, work got me away from fishing, but I just didn't feel like doing anything for a while there. A lot of things were going on around the house because of that. We had all these house projects, and on the outside, everything looks like it's going fine, but in reality, I had so much stuff that was pent up. I'm one of those people, I've always considered myself to be really strong. Throughout my entire life, I've always had people, all the people around me would come to me with their problems. I was able to be kind of like the rock that everyone could bring their issues to. I could talk it through with them, and that's kind of how I set myself in life, and I really like doing that and will continue to do that. But I never dealt with anything, any of my own misgivings or anything myself. I would just deal with other people's stuff. I would swallow my own issues, anger issues, swallow my own things and just keep on going, push ahead, frontal assault. That's kind of how I dealt with life for the longest time, and that's kind of my default, is just I'm a guy, I tough it out and I move on. But I realized, especially this year, after 30 years of doing that, it really just kind of brought me to a breaking point this year. I just got so beat up, exhausted, stressed out that I started going out and not going out, but staying in and drinking too much. That was probably one of the biggest things that kind of gave me the wake-up call. My wife, she kind of came to me and was like, hey, this has to stop. Where I was getting around, and it got to a point, where it wasn't like it was every night or anything, but I got to a point where it wasn't a healthy thing. I wasn't coping with anything in a healthy way anymore. I wasn't even coping to begin with, and it kind of led me to a point, and my wife, I thank her a lot for not putting up with my crap and everything, but we got to a point where I had to finally seek help. I had to get out again and talk to the right people, talk to my family about it, and just kind of get myself steered back to the right track. We had the year's been crazy with that COVID thing. We weren't going to church, we weren't seeing people, and I think a lot of the issues that I dealt with, and probably a lot of other guys are dealing with out there, and a lot of the people I know that took their own life, a lot of that is, we're meant to be social creatures. We're meant to help one another, seek help and give help to one another, and we weren't doing that this past year. So I'm hoping we kind of get things back to normal here. But I guess what I'm trying to say to all the guys out there is, you can't always just tough everything out. You have to deal with your own stuff. You got to be right with yourself. You got to be able to live with yourself, and you got to rely on other people, put trust in other people. I know it's a hard thing to do, and I've been burned on that a few times, and that's one of the reasons why I don't typically do that. It's not my default thing to do, but I just want you to know, talk to each other, love on each other, do right by one another. That's probably the biggest thing, because this past year was just really tough because of that. Finally, I've kind of gotten back into the rhythm of things. I actually ended up going to a doctor in Hickson here, Dr. Hitchcock, great guy, ex-Navy Corpsman, and was able to get on some medication there, some light antidepressants. And I never thought I would need something like that. I always thought it was kind of like if you had to have medication or something like that, you were weak in some way. But man, it just made such a huge difference in me, and I feel like an idiot for waiting so long, to go through years and years and years of that, of coping and just pushing through, when I could have sought help sooner and and been feeling like I feel right now. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you're feeling down, if all the things that we go through in this life have got you down, there's a lot of people that have a lot of external things going on, whether you've got family that's sick or things going on. Just get out there, talk to your bros. We have a great community here, a lot of really wise men, a lot of great men that fish. They come out to this lake and fish, and so utilize that. Talk to the people in your group, form strong relationships, keep each other accountable, and talk to people, seek help, seek medical help if you need to, but don't let things go too far. Don't wait. I guess is my biggest thing is, I'm one of those people that's just hard-headed, you know what I mean? It's like I got to learn things. Third time's the charm kind of guy. I'm gonna push through and be thick-skulled and try to do it my way. It's like a granddad used to say, boy, if you're gonna be dumb, you better be tough. That's pretty much me. And so I thought I could just tough anything out, but found out the hard way this year that that's not the case. So want to encourage you guys, if anyone out there wants to talk, you're more than welcome to message me, and I'd be happy to talk back and forth with you if you're kind of going through some of the same things that I was going through this past year. And it's an ongoing thing. That's something I've realized now, just because I've dealt with a lot of things, I've talked to a lot of great people, and I'm dealing with a lot of things now. It doesn't mean that you can stop. Keeping your mental health together and keeping it working in your favor is something that it's like getting out there and reading the conditions of the water. You know what I mean? It's like you always have to be working on it. You always have to be conscious of it. So I really encourage you guys to talk to one another. Talk to me if you want to. Talk to your pastors. Talk to your doctor and stuff like that if you're having any issues. I'm tired of getting the call, in the wee hours of the morning with somebody that I love and hold dearly that's taking their own life because the world it's just got to be too much for them, and that's not something that I want to hear ever again. So I'm hoping that you guys will take initiative, take it now. Don't delay, don't wait another day, don't try to tough it out anymore. Go seek help now, go talk to the right people now, and get your stuff taken care of. And I promise you won't be disappointed. It's amazing to me, the more people that I talk to, the more people that I open up to about, there's nothing new under the sun. Everybody struggles with the same things, and for some reason we've got this notion in our head as guys that, we're not going to talk about it. And so it gets to the point where, we don't know who's struggling with what and what's going on and everything in people's minds. In reality, we're all struggling with the same kind of things, the same inadequacies that all guys have, and we're sitting here trying to bite the bullet and man up. But do it for your families, guys. I'm telling you, you've got a wife, and I know a lot of you guys have wives and kids out there. They don't deserve to be living with someone who's not dealing with themselves. It's easy to just try to be helping them out and be the rock for them and everything, but at the same time, it's just like, they say, what do they say about, a plane? If your plane's going down, you grab your respirator, put your own oxygen mask on first, because if you don't put that on, you can't help anybody else. You're no good to your family until you put your own respirator on. So, love you guys. I'm going to see if I can catch me a smallmouth real quick. I hope this week finds you out on the water, and I'll catch you there.